Are you wondering how you can be successful in this time? In this episode, I'm going to answer the question that I was asked on how are you redefining success in this new normal?
You're listening to the Dynamic Women podcast. Each week, you'll be inspired by our global community of women. They'll share with you tools and stories to help you be dynamic in every area of life. Here's your host, award-winning coach, and the CEO and founder of Dynamic Women, Diane Rolston.
Hello, lovely dynamic women, and welcome to the Dynamic Women podcast. I am Diane Rolston, your host. And how are we redefining success in this new normal? I'm going to answer that today because, the pandemic has changed not only how we live our lives, but how we view life and work. Our priorities have changed. We're not sure if we want what we had before, and there's still uncertainty. So in this episode, I'm going to share what is the new normal, what you can expect, what is success, and how this might have shifted for you. Plus, I'm going to also share the 3 things I'm doing to help with this. So let's start off first with this whole piece around what is the new normal? What does this mean, new normal? Well, I'm going to explain this in 2 ways. One, the new normal that is now life as we know it, with restrictions, with people being a little bit paranoid, with debate, with business changing, with you not being able to just move around the world as you want to move around. So that's the new normal post-pandemic. We're still in it, I know, but there is a new normal, a new way that things are happening, a new way that we're really having to live in our lives and work. So that's the one new normal. But the other piece is what I've been talking to my clients about for a very long time. There's always a new normal. There's always a time when things change, right? And so a client is pregnant and has to leave her job to go on mat leave and have her baby. There is a new normal. My father passed away. Now I have no father. There is a new normal. We get injured and we can't physically do what we want to do. That is another new normal. There's continuous new normals. There just hasn't been a time where there's been such a collective new normal that we've been going through. So every time a client has to, let's say, return to work because the business isn't going as she wanted, or a new normal when there's been some shifts in the company that they're working for, maybe a promotion didn't work out, or the boss has moved on. And so again, there is a new normal. There continues to be new normals all the time. And so when I was asked this question of how are you defining success in the new normal? I thought, well, there's always been a new normal. And I talk a lot about being a dynamic person, a dynamic woman, and being dynamic means you move with the changes. You also are a catalyst for change. And so change doesn't necessarily scare you because you ride the wave of change rather than having change completely terrorize you and come over you and suffocate you like a tsunami would. If you are of the mindset that there's going to continuously be a new normal, that there's never going to be a time when things are always stagnant, then you're going to be okay. So first I wanted to discuss the new normal. And as long as you are embracing change and riding the wave of change and even being proactive in how things will change, then you're going to be fine. You're totally going to be okay. So that's the new normal piece. The next piece is around how are you redefining success? I'll tell you a little secret. I've always been redefining what success is. Always, ever since I was enlightened to what it is to be successful. Once I really came into the life coaching world, the personal development world, and I was introduced to a whole bunch of coaching tools and perspectives around, success is not necessarily what you achieve. And for an A-type, A-type, highly driven, very motivated, wants to achieve all the time. For that type of person, that was a shocker. That was so surprising. I was like, oh, okay. Sure. So everything I've been striving for, everything I've been pushing for, every goal I've been going for was based on success and achievement. And that's so true for all the other high achieving women and female business leaders that I work with. It's the same thing. And so redefining success, I feel like my very first tagline over a decade ago was redefine your life. Now, when I look back on it, I think, oh, how corny. What does that even mean? But it's redefining your life, redefining how you want to live your life, redefining what is important to you and your priorities and what deems you as successful. So that's the issue here that I've been talking about when I speak on stages, when I coach groups, when I speak at masterminds. This has been one of the key things I talk about is stop measuring your life according to success. Stop doing it. Stop it. It's not serving you. And so when we redefine success, we really need to start measuring our life according to our satisfaction, according to what fulfills us, according to the things that are most important to us, not what society deems as you being successful, not in the things that other people want for you, your parents or friends or your spouse or other people in the industry, what they think you should be doing. Choosing the things that matter most to you. You, and you. Are you able to follow that? Now, I get in pandemic times, things have shifted. And maybe what brought you happiness before you can't have. You can't have that time with family. You can't run your business how you want to. I used to run 8 events in 8 cities every single month. I had to cancel that. I used to fly between Ontario and BC. I live in BC, families in Ontario. I used to fly 4 times a year between to serve clients in person. My VIP coaching members, my VIP elite coaching members, my She's Gold coaching members, we all used to be in person. I can't do that anymore. And so how am I redefining success in my business? It's not in the output of doing things as I always have. It's switching it to look at the things that I can do now. So let me go through the 3 things that I'm doing to help with this, that I recommend and I work with my clients to do, and that you can apply in your own life. So the 3 things that I'm doing and working with my clients to help with redefining success in the new normal. First thing, look at all areas of life. And I'm talking 10 areas of life. I'm not just talking about life and work or life and business, because I'll tell you, work, business is only one of 10 areas of life. When I first saw this, I'll tell you, mind blown. My mind was blown because I was like, no wonder people cannot balance their lives. No wonder when that work is only one piece of 10 and the 10 is super heavy and we're trying to balance, things get forgotten. And you know what gets forgotten for a lot of women? Themselves. Their health decreases. Their fun and recreation decreases. The time with their friends, their personal development, unless they're very high achievement focused and they keep thinking that they need to be better. But their spirituality decreases. Their marriage is not in the forefront. It's kids and it's work and it's often house. And they, if they're ever on their list, are never number one. Never. So the first thing I do to help with being in a new normal all the time, back to that wheel of life, that professional coaching tool. And my version of this has, I said, 10 areas of life. If you're like, what are the 10 areas? What are the 10 areas? Friends, family, your physical environment, your personal development, your finances, your career or your work, your fun and recreation, your love or romance significant other, your spiritual life, and now I'm missing one, your health. So those are the 10 areas of life, And I always go there because that helps me to redefine how I'm going to measure my life according to satisfaction. It gives me a starting point of where I can now move forward from. If you want me to take you through this to see where Where are you in like that base point, and where do you want to be in the next year? Send me an email to my private email, diane@dianerolston.com, and I can take you through that. The number 2 step that I do is I focus on my priorities. So once I have my wheel ready, once I know how I'm measuring life, I look, wow, what are the areas that I really want to make a change in? What are the areas that need a little bit of a boost? Which areas are kind of low? Because the thing is, if you, whether you're in a new normal or in a good time, the low points, they're kind of like potholes. And you can imagine you're flying through life on a highway, and then you hit a pothole. That puts a huge damper on the areas of your life that are higher, right? You've been in that moment where you're like, whoa, that's like, boom, and it pulls those other areas down. Now, the benefit is when you do focus on priorities and you focus on the areas that need to be pulled up, they will naturally pull up other areas. Amazing. But what I'm finding is this new normal is forced people to be at home, pushed people to be with their families more, focused them on what really matters in my life. Now, yes, it's pulled us away from things like gyms. It's pulled us away from group connection. It's pulled us away from ability to be in the office and perform in front of others. But it's brought it back to the basics of life. People say, oh, the world is going to be woke from this. People are seeing the family matters more, and friendship, and our health, and other simple joys in life. And I've been seeing that every time I start working with a new client. And so congratulations, world, on finally this new normal waking you up to what your priorities are. And I keep hearing from people, hey, like, I don't want to go back to work. I want to be around my family more. I don't want to commute an hour both ways. I want to be able to wake up and do my exercising right away, or my meditation, or to be less stressed. These are the things that matter most. And so in my step 2, I'm focusing on priorities. This helps me to always be the most successful and to always really be able to deal with any new normal, any change. It is Dynamic Women Podcast review time, and I just love reading your 5-star reviews. I thank you so much. This one is from Scarlett DeBeese. She was actually on the podcast, and the title of her review says, "Women Hear Them Roar." It's so refreshing and invigorating to hear the stories of women who've succeeded in building their careers and who would love to help others do the same. Thank you so much, Scarlett. Take a look in your mailbox. There'll be something coming your way. If you would like to receive a little something special in the mail, snail mail, then all you need to do is write us a 5-star review, and when we read it on the air, we'll get you something in the mail. If your review has been read on the podcast, or if you just have an idea for us, please email team@dianerolston.com. The third thing that I do is I always pull in, how do I want to feel? So in the coaching that I do, it's the coactive model, the being and the doing, right? We are not human doings, we're human beings, but we forget. We get so driven and we're going by what society thinks. And even if you're like, oh, I don't do that, we totally do that. We do. And so we bring it back to, how do I want to feel? A lot of people are saying, because of the pandemic, it's taught me that I want a slower pace. I want to be more present. I want to be more creative. I want to be in more loving relationships. And so how do you want to feel in this new normal? When you feel like, I'm a successful person, how does that feel? Are you confident? Are you calm? What is it for you? So how are you redefining success in this new normal? I've shared with you some of the things that I need to look at, some of the things that I work through. What's been most helpful for you? Let me know. You know, there's a lot of ideas out there. I don't have them all. I just have the ones that work for me. I've got the ones that I know work for my clients. And so reach out. And if there is a way that I can serve you, please send me a message or send me a direct email, Diane@DianeRolston.com. I trust that this has given you some insight. Let me know the piece that mattered most to you. And I'm just wishing you a wonderful, successful time in whatever new normal you find yourself in today and next year and 10 years from now, and every time you have a new normal for the rest of your most wonderful, glorious life. Thank you for listening. You know, every time you listen to one of these podcasts, you are investing in yourself, but only really if you fully implement things. So take something that I shared today, implement it in your life. And make sure you hit subscribe, write a comment, and let me know how this has impacted you. Share it with a friend and write a review if you haven't yet. Until next time, everyone, stay dynamic. Bye.
Thank you, Dynamic Women, for joining us today. Please hop on over to iTunes to subscribe and leave us a review. Who do you know who needs to hear our message? We'd love it if you'd share our channel with your friends and family. If you're ready to be more dynamic, have more balance and more success, head over to www.dynamicwomenclub.com/free gift for your Key to Success book. Stay dynamic.